This video brings an urgent message that Jesus specifically wants you to hear. A spiritual deed has already been made against you, and you're being cut out of something that belongs to you. This isn't just another spiritual video. It's about something that's already happened behind your back. Jesus is deeply concerned that you don't know about this spiritual theft that's taken place in your life. The message you're about to receive has been arranged to reach you at this exact moment, before it's too late to reverse it. There's a divine appointment happening right now as you watch. Don't scroll away, because what you're about to learn could restore what has been stolen from your spiritual inheritance. Jesus wants to expose this hidden deed so you can fight back. This isn't an ordinary spiritual message. It's a divine revelation about a spiritual deed that has been executed against your blessing and inheritance. Jesus has been watching as something precious was taken from your spiritual life without your knowledge or consent. Missing this particular revelation could mean accepting this spiritual loss permanently and never understanding why doors keep closing for you. This warning marks a limited time opportunity that's opening right now to discover and reverse what has been done against you spiritually. Jesus cares so deeply about your spiritual inheritance that he would be genuinely heartbroken if you failed to recognize this theft and fight for what belongs to you. That's why this message found you today. Your attention to this video isn't coincidence. It's a divinely orchestrated moment designed to help you see the spiritual deed that has excluded you from blessings that should be yours. Every time you've felt like something was spiritually off in your life has been noticed. Every moment when you sensed that blessings were flowing to others but somehow missing you has been acknowledged. All the times you've wondered why your prayers seemed blocked, while others got breakthrough yet you kept believing anyway, have been honored. Your spiritual confusion hasn't gone unnoticed. Those moments when doors slammed shut for no apparent reason while opening for everyone else, Jesus saw your disappointment. The times when your faith felt attacked and undermined, yet you held on anyway. That persistence was recognized in heaven. The spiritual sensitivity that made you notice you were being treated differently has been deeply valued. The questions you've carried about why your spiritual life felt blocked, sometimes too painful to share with others, have all been acknowledged. Spiritual theft isn't always obvious, and hidden deeds aren't always easy to detect. The spiritual deed Jesus wants you to recognize was executed in the spiritual realm but shows up in your physical circumstances. This deed appears in patterns of missed opportunities that seemed meant for you, doors that mysteriously closed when you approached them, and blessings that stopped flowing for unexplained reasons. It shows up in prayers that hit a ceiling, in favor that suddenly dried up, and in spiritual attacks that seem more intense than what others experience. This spiritual deed created a barrier between you and your inheritance that was designed to keep you locked out permanently. Jesus is revealing how this deed was made without your knowledge or consent by spiritual forces that wanted to steal your blessing. The spiritual paperwork has been filed against you in places you couldn't see, cutting you out of what God intended for your life. The window to recognize and challenge this deed won't remain open forever. When you finally see it, you'll understand why so many things have been inexplicably difficult. When you recognize this spiritual deed that was made against you, many confusing aspects of your spiritual journey will suddenly make perfect sense. Blocked prayers, closed doors, and spiritual struggles that seemed unusually intense will all connect in a moment of divine clarity about what was really happening. Jesus has wonderful news for you today. Your spiritual awareness of hidden warfare is growing stronger, and important tools for fighting back are becoming available to you now. The divine has noticed your persistence despite the spiritual theft, and now you've been chosen to receive this revelation about what was done. This moment marks something significant in your spiritual authority. It's a clear indication that your discernment is strong enough to handle the truth about spiritual deeds made against you. Something incredibly powerful is unfolding in your ability to fight spiritual battles, far deeper than you might have imagined possible. This recognition begins a spiritual awakening that will restore every area where you've been illegally blocked. There's a wave of heavenly attention focused on reversing this spiritual deed right now. You're becoming more spiritually aware of what was stolen from you, naturally drawing divine restoration into your daily experience. Recognizing this deed brings heightened awareness of Jesus' commitment to restore your full inheritance. More spiritual breakthrough will begin flowing to you than ever before. This isn't happening by chance. It's a carefully arranged restoration designed specifically for this season when the deed's power is being broken. Your prayers for breakthrough matter more than you realize. Your spiritual persistence despite the theft inspires heaven to reveal what was hidden from you. Your faith makes a difference in the spiritual atmosphere around your restoration. This divine revelation shows that Jesus deeply values your refusal to give up when things got spiritually difficult. Each step you've taken despite the spiritual barriers has developed your authority to challenge what was done illegally. Jesus delights when you finally see the deed that was made against you, because it means restoration can begin. The timing of this revelation about the spiritual deed is no coincidence. It comes now because you're spiritually mature enough to handle this truth and fight back. This precise moment has been divinely chosen because you've grown in spiritual authority and discernment through your struggles. Your spiritual eyes are now open enough to see warfare that might have been invisible to you before. Your heart has been strengthened through the very attacks this deed created against you. Your spiritual wisdom has deepened through experience with blocked blessings and closed doors. All the spiritual battles you've faced have been preparation for this moment of revelation about what was really happening. Nothing in your journey through spiritual opposition has been wasted. Every experience has shaped your ability to recognize hidden deeds when they're exposed. This particular deed against you is connected to larger spiritual theft happening to many believers right now. Jesus is revealing similar hidden deeds to those who are spiritually alert and ready to challenge what was done illegally. If you're feeling empowered by this revelation about the spiritual deed made against you, please consider sending a super thanks of $5, $10, $20 or more to support our channel's mission of exposing these hidden spiritual thefts. Your generosity helps these divine revelations reach those who desperately need to discover what was stolen from their spiritual inheritance. When you give, you participate in a sacred exchange that allows us to continue creating content that exposes spiritual deeds and helps people fight for their restored blessings. As you begin to recognize this spiritual deed that was made against you, new spiritual authority will naturally develop in your life. This clearer vision brings new responsibilities, not just to fight for your own restoration, but to help others who've had similar deeds executed against their blessings. Don't view these responsibilities as burdens, but as sacred opportunities to participate in Jesus' work of exposing spiritual theft. This revelation signals it's time to step into spiritual maturity as someone who challenges illegal spiritual deeds. Finding balance becomes essential during this spiritually charged time of restoration. While fighting for your own inheritance, remember to nurture your practical faith through prayer, scripture, and community. These spiritual disciplines have sustained you through the theft and will continue to support you as you grow into this expanded role as a spiritual deed challenger. Jesus is inviting you to become more than just a victim of spiritual theft, but a person who helps others recognize and fight back against what was stolen from them too. As you become sensitive to this spiritual deed that was made against you, think about how you can help others who are missing similar signs of spiritual theft in their own lives. Your experience shows that Jesus is constantly working to expose hidden deeds, even when we fail to recognize the spiritual warfare happening around us. Heaven witnesses every moment when someone discovers what was stolen from their spiritual inheritance and decides to fight back. Your story of recognizing this deed brings hope to people feeling spiritually blocked or wondering if they're being attacked in ways they can't see. Your awareness becomes a light that helps others develop eyes to see the spiritual theft Jesus is revealing all around them. This revelation about your spiritual deed isn't meant to be a private victory. It's an invitation to help others experience the same divine restoration. Jesus often works through those who have recently discovered hidden deeds to help awaken others who are still missing the signs of what was done against their blessings. As you navigate this new level of spiritual awareness about hidden deeds, stay consistently alert for future attacks on your inheritance. Jesus reminds you that while recognizing one spiritual deed is wonderful, spiritual enemies will try to create new deeds against your restored blessings if you're not watching. Maintain the spiritual sensitivity that allowed you to see this deed in the first place. Guard against returning to spiritual complacency that made you vulnerable to hidden theft in the past. Let your spiritual awareness continue to flow from genuine faith and daily attention to Jesus' protective guidance. With this new ability to recognize spiritual deeds comes ongoing responsibility to remain watchful for your entire spiritual inheritance. Use this gift wisely to discern true spiritual attack from ordinary life challenges. Not every setback is a spiritual deed, but Jesus will make truly dangerous threats unmistakable to your trained spiritual eyes. Embrace this journey of spiritual warfare with both humility and confidence, knowing that you now have authority to challenge what shouldn't be there. Picture a future where your spiritual inheritance is fully restored and protected from hidden deeds. Imagine divine doors opening that were previously sealed by spiritual theft, spiritual breakthrough flowing freely again, and your understanding of spiritual authority expanding beyond anything you've experienced before. Jesus stands with you, encouraging you to embrace this journey of restoration with complete trust and determination. This is truly your moment to experience deeper divine connection through fighting for what belongs to you spiritually. This marks the beginning of a time when your spiritual perception, authority, and blessing will be more aligned with heaven's original plan than ever before. Accept this restoration with gratitude and remember that you're surrounded by divine support on this journey of reclaiming your spiritual inheritance. The path ahead holds countless opportunities to experience Jesus' power through reversing spiritual deeds that will become increasingly obvious to your spiritually trained eyes. What joy awaits as you learn to operate in the full spiritual authority and blessing that was always meant to be yours. If this revelation about spiritual deeds has awakened something powerful in your spirit, please consider blessing our channel with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or whatever amount feels right to you. Your support creates a beautiful spiritual exchange and allows us to continue exposing these hidden spiritual thefts with those who need this revelation most. Your generosity helps fund our mission to help others recognize the spiritual deeds Jesus is revealing in these critical times. If you're ready to acknowledge that a spiritual deed was made against you, type 888 in the comments below as your declaration of spiritual warfare readiness. The journey of fighting spiritual deeds and reclaiming your inheritance continues beyond this revelation. As you step into new spiritual authority over what was stolen from you, stay grounded in scripture and prayer that keeps your discernment sharp and your spiritual weapons ready for battle. Every spiritual deed you expose and challenge could be the exact breakthrough someone else has been waiting to see in their own life. Your growing spiritual authority serves as inspiration for others wondering if Jesus still fights for his people's inheritance today. Move forward with a determined heart, a watchful mind, and a warrior spirit ready to defend what belongs to you spiritually. Create opportunities for others to recognize spiritual theft as you enjoy the restoration coming your way. The spiritual language of warfare and restoration has always been part of how Jesus protects those who love him. By choosing to fight back against spiritual deeds, you join a long tradition of faithful believers who have learned to recognize his voice calling them to reclaim what was stolen and walk in their full spiritual inheritance.